information security. World-renowned professor and all-around good guy Tim Jax is ready to take you to the other side. So get ready, stand tall, square your shoulders, and open up the door. It's just got to be. You can't be sure till you open up the door. Open up the door. Open up the door.
Woo! Okay, why not add a little production value to these videos? So we've got some intro music, and welcome to the first video lecture of the season. We may have more of these as we have snow days and whatnot, so we can always overcome the weather. I want to get into a little administrivia with you today and get through covering the really important stuff in Chapter 1 so that we can dive into Chapter 2 on Monday. So I do need you to go ahead and start reading Chapter 2. If you don't get all the way through Chapter 2 before Monday, that's okay. Focus on getting your homework done first and getting enrolled in Test Out. It's critical that you get this done before Monday. This includes several steps, so make sure that you've got your access code, of course. I think most of you do at this point. If you don't, you have to let me know immediately. Number 2, you have to register on Test Out, which means creating your username and password. Once you do that, you're not done. If you start doing homework after you register, you're going to lose your progress. The third step is to enroll in my class on Test Out. So within Test Out, if you search for SIUE is your school, and my name as your instructor, then you'll see CMIS495, 588. Enroll in that class, and then you're ready to start doing homework. So I went ahead and posted all of your homework assignments. All 7 assignments are on Blackboard now. If you want to work ahead, that's fine, but I tried to line up the homework assignments with the topic that we're talking about that week, so they should be relevant. All of your homework is done in Test Out, and your first homework is on Blackboard. It's due Monday. I realize I didn't give you a full week, but it's short and sweet. It's just how to use Test Out, how to use the simulators. If you've done it before, you know exactly how to do it already, but go ahead and get through those labs and get a green check mark on there, and I'll check you off my list. And your last assignment before Monday, actually I extended it on made an assignment under the final project folder on Blackboard, an assignment to make your project choice, and I extended it to midnight on Monday. So if you want, you can wait until after class on Monday to make this decision. I just want to make sure I'm answering all of your questions, but I'll talk about the project choice in just a second here. I promised you a syllabus quiz. And here it is. You should be able to answer all these questions. 7 homework assignments will use Test Out. What's the makeup policy? There is no makeup policy other than if you let me know ahead of time, I'll try to work with you. No promises, but I'll try to work with you. If you let me know after it's time to turn it in or take an exam or do a homework assignment, that's a failing grade for that assignment. No exceptions. Students should use my office phone as primary means of communication. That's false. What should you use? My cell phone. That's why it's in the syllabus. And when is the final cumulative exam in this class? You look that up in the syllabus to get the answer. Okay, the project choice that you have to make Monday by midnight is, if you're an undergrad, you have a choice of doing a typical group project, or you can do the individual project. If you're a grad student, you have to do the individual project. I told you the individual project is getting Security Pro certified. And when I say weigh the risk-reward, I mean the group project, you know what's involved. And you know the amount of time, and you know you can probably cram it in at the end of the semester and make your life stressful, but it's probably less work doing the group project, simply because if you get a good group of people together, you can divvy out assignments, you can delegate, you can work as a team together to get the job done. That group project description is under the final project folder on Blackboard. If, however, you want to go for certification, you're getting something out of that, right? You're getting something to put on your resume that you're Security Pro certified. Makes you very marketable in the workplace. You can go with either project that you want. Please keep in mind that in order to pass the Security Pro certification at the end of the semester, successful students tend to spend at least 2 to 3 hours every single week. Every single week. You can't wait until the end of the semester and catch up. There's no catch up. Every single week you're putting in 3 hours into test out. Remember, read the project description for the individual group, the individual project. I don't care if you go through every single module. Focus on the ones that you're weak on and be strategic about it. You don't have to watch every single video. You don't have to read all the text. Skip through and review the material on test out strategically. Just be smart, but make that choice by Monday. Otherwise, I'm going to assume I'm just going to put you down for an individual project if you don't say anything. If you didn't notice in the syllabus, I'm big on class participation. In fact, I even called it class engagement in the syllabus, I believe, to really emphasize it. Evening classes are going to get really tedious if all you're doing is just listening to me lecture. I even get tired of hearing me talk. So really, the more we can interact in class and discuss things, the more you can bring your questions, your own experience to the table. That makes it much more interesting for everybody, and we learn so much more that way. One easy way for you to participate is if you can just find an article online that week, something that's going on in security news. There's something going on every single day, so there's no lack of security news, sadly. So if you want to bring in an article, you don't have to print it off. Just be able to summarize it, recap it, and talk about what was interesting, just something to share with the class, and I'll ask for these at the beginning of class. You don't have to do it every week. It's completely optional. Even if you find a good website that you like that has good security news, I'm always looking for good sources of information. So, for example, this week, the Cybersecurity Information Sharing Act went into effect. It was passed in December, but I think it went into effect this week because it's been in the news. This is huge. If one or two or more of you want to dig into this one and be able to summarize it on Monday, I'd like to talk about this for a few minutes. Okay, I talked about the test out process already, getting the access code, register, enroll in the class. If you have any problems at all with test out, remember, number one, try a different browser if it's being squirrely with you. If you're using Firefox, try Chrome. If it's Chrome, try Internet Explorer. If that doesn't work, try Safari, try Opera. You'll find one that works correctly with the Security Pro course, and it may be different from the one you had to use for 310 and PC Pro. Why? I don't know. It's crazy. If you need any kind of tech support, try me first. I'll try to help you out, but you can always send a note to support@testout.com, and they will leap into action for you. So let me know if you have any problems. Now we get to dive into Chapter 1. So here we go, Chapter 1, Introduction to Information Security. Big stuff in Chapter 1, a lot of definitions, a lot of terminology, a lot of vocabulary. That's 80% of what learning is learning the vocabulary around the content, and then 20% is just concepts. Most of them are not going to be new for you. We'll get into a critical framework called the Security SDLC. You should already be familiar with the SDLC from other classes. But there's a special security version that we're going to get into. And then we'll talk about what it's like to be a security professional. So before we jump into definitions, I really want to set the stage for you, just to create a mood of what we're talking about. Really, when one thinks of information security, one thinks of hackers, and that's fine. But the term hacker has really changed in my lifetime. So when I was growing up, it was just somebody who was a hobbyist who liked playing around with computers. And today the connotation is it's a criminal. And so that's what we're really focusing on in this class. So just for instance, I want to show you one version of a hacker. Okay, so here we go.
Wanted to know who I am, Zero Cool? Well, let me explain the New World Order. Governments and corporations need people like you and me. We are samurai, the keyboard cowboys, and all those other people out there who have no idea what's going on are the cattle. Moo. I need your help. You need my help. Let me help you earn your spurs. Think about it. Enjoy the laptop. Cool. Tell me where the disk is.
Okay, so a little bit of silliness, but really, I had a student last semester who, here, let me orient this like that. I had a student last semester who's a security professional, and he sent me this link, and we were just joking about it because Hackers was a movie from the early 90s. And this is what we grew up with. When you think of hackers, oh, they're cute, those knuckleheads, playing around with computers. But the way hackers are portrayed in the media has really changed over the last, 20, 25 years, to something more like this.
Some hacker is hitting our financial markets.
4 major banks, and that's just what we know about?
If we want clues to the hacker's identity, we need a man named Hathaway.
What do we know about this guy?
He's a convicted hacker serving 15 years at MIT. Genius coder.
I want you to commute my sentence for identification and the apprehension of the guy you're after. Those are the terms. Is he political? Terrorist attack? Any declaration?
The guy we're working will drop the big hammer and not think twice about it.
He's on the move again.
Chicago.
No, China.
This is only the beginning. He's still writing. 4-4. Real hit is still to come.
You get discovered, you're dead meat.
You have to run. This isn't about money. This isn't about politics. I can target anyone. Anything. Anywhere.
Okay, serious stuff, right? So the tone has really changed. I want to set this tone because I'm not trying to name drop or anything, but I was talking to somebody with the FBI just last night about you guys and about this class and what's important for students to learn about cybersecurity, information security. And the reason I even have a contact with the FBI is she's an SIUE graduate from 2008. I'm going to try and get her to come to class in March, if at all possible, but I can't promise I can swing that. Her role in FBI Cyber Division is to figure out why, not what. And that was my big takeaway from our conversation. We talked for an hour about this stuff. Why do people break into computer systems? What's their motive? Now, we also care about how they did it and the technology behind it, but from her point of view in law enforcement, it's about figuring out motive, why. The why has changed from the 90s to 2015, from just showing off and doing it because you're trying to show off your knowledge of networking and security and computer systems, to either political motives, money motives, or something even worse. Now, of course, this is a fictional movie, but I think it does underscore the seriousness of the topic these days. So I'd like you to keep that in mind as we get into this material.